Hello all, good evening. In this session, we'll be preparing the BRS when the opening balance is negative, also called as overdraft. A quick recall. First of all, what is this BRS all about? In the previous session, we prepared the BRS when the opening balance was favorable. Now, first of all, what is BRS all about? Whenever the cash book and passbook is not tallying, when both the books are showing different balances, we try to go for this reconciliation. And why should I go for this reconciliation? What is the purpose? Because to prove that there is no frauds has happened in the business. What type of frauds will happen? See, when an accountant is in charge, what he might do, he might steal the money from the bank account. So the accountant or the proprietor, whoever it may be, so they might steal the money from the bank account, but they will not pass any accounting entry in the books of accounts. So what will happen? The real bank balance will be very low, but accounting records, the bank balance will be showing a higher value. So these type of frauds can be found out through BRS. So this is the basic objective of BRS. Now, in the previous session, we prepared the BRS when the opening balance was favorable. Now, we are going to prepare the BRS when the opening balance is unfavorable, also called as overdraft. Let's get started. Now, let's take up this illustration. Now, what is here? They are saying that from the following particulars, ascertain the balances that would appear in the bank passbook of A. So they're asking you to find out the balance that would appear in the bank passbook as of Mr. A as on 31st December 22. Now, what is given to us? The bank overdraft as per cash book is 6,340. Now, we have been given with the cash book balance. So, whatever balance is given to us, we will take that book as our base. So, base will always be taken as left hand. So, left hand is going to be cash book here, and right hand is going to be passbook. Now, left hand is a overdraft balance, negative balance with a value of 6,340. Forget the value. We just need to know whether it's favorable or unfavorable, that is positive or negative. Here, it's a overdraft, means a negative balance. So my left hand is having a just cash book. Cash book is having a negative balance. Obviously, passbook should also have a negative balance only, because whatever balance is there for left hand, the passbook should also have the same balance, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that these two balances are equal, cash book and passbook. So if cash book is negative, right hand passbook should also be taken as negative only. Now let's get started. The first point is just an information. It's not a transaction. I think we don't have anything to do with this first transaction. So it's just an information that my opening balance is cash book, which is a negative balance. So left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook, left hand is negative, right hand is also negative for us. Now let's get for the first transaction. The first transaction is what? Interest on overdraft. So what is basically overdraft? Overdraft means I have overdrawn my bank balance. Suppose, let's say I have a bank balance of 15,000. Now I want to make a payment for 20,000 rupees. I don't have sufficient balance right now. So what I will do, I will approach my bank. I'll ask them to allow me a short span of time to overdraw my account. That is, I have only 15,000, but I want to make 20,000. No, it's something like taking a loan from a bank. So overdraft is as good as a loan. So overdraft is we are overshooting our bank balance. So that's the scenario. Now, interest on overdraft means what? So overdraft is basically a loan. So interest on loan means what? It's a case of payment. So like the previous session, once we read a transaction, we have to identify 2 points. What are those? The first point is whether it's a receipt or a payment. We have to find out that point. And point number 2 is in which book the impact is there. So in this scenario, what is given to us? Interest on overdraft means it's nothing but loan. For loan, it's interest now. It's a case of payment. So this is a payment for how much? 160. So this is a case of payment. And then second point is what? We have to identify in which book the impact is there. The impact is impact is in the which book? Entered in passbook. So that means what? This payment has been captured in passbook. Now, before going for BRS, I just want to make one thing clear here. Some basic mathematics. See, let's say my opening balance is 100 and I am making a payment of 20. Forget the payment amount. Let's keep it simple. Minus 100 minus 20. What is the value? The value is minus 120, right? Minus 100 plus 20. What is the value? The value will be minus 80. Now, what I'm trying to convey here is on a negative balance, if you apply a negative effect, if you give a negative effect, what happens? A negative balance will go up. I hope it's clear. Similarly, on a negative balance, if you give a positive effect, what will happen? The negative balance will come down. That's what I'm trying to convey here. Just keep this point in mind. It will be useful when solving this sum. Now let's get started. So I'll just remove this one. Yeah. So let's get started here. What is given to us? Now they're saying that in this case, it's a case of interest on overdraft, means it's interest on loan. Interest on loan is a payment. So first point is receipt of payment. It's a payment here. And in which book the impact is there? The impact is there in the passbook. So what happens? Left hand is cash book, which has a negative balance. Right hand is passbook. Now this is a further payment. So as we discussed now, my opening balance is negative. On a negative balance, if you give a negative effect, what will happen? The negative balance will go up, not go down. So the passbook has to be increased here. So our right hand has to go up because the payment has been captured in the passbook, not in the cash book. So what happens if my passbook goes up, cash book stays the same. Now, for transaction, if movement is over, what we will do? Finally, we have to, for BRS, we have to plus minus my left hand. Now, what I should do? My left hand to match with right hand, I have to increase it. So, it's a case of addition. So, how to solve this sum? Let's go for the solution. Let's do it parallelly, and I want all of you guys to give the hand movement as in when I do here. Please give the hand movement parallelly. Only then you'll be able to get the logic. Now, how to solve this sum? We have been given with OD as per cash book. The cash book OD is given to us. The amount is 6,340, right? Yeah, it is 6,340. Now, for the first transaction, interest on overdraft, the answer was in addition, right? So in add section, I'll enter the amount. What is the amount here? It is coming to 160. So it is coming to 160. I'll enter in the add section. And some of you will be preparing this, will be presenting the BRS answer in this fashion: plus item, minus item. So those of you who are following this approach, first I will explain how to present the answer. I'll come to the logic. Once I complete the sum, I'll give you the logic for this presentation. Right now, I'll be giving the logic for this one. Those who are following the plus item, minus item, what you should do is, so listen here. We have been given with OD as per cash book note. That's my starting point. And since it's a overdraft, what you should do, you must enter it in the minus section, because overdraft means negative balance. So my opening balance will be in negative column. So 6340 will be taken to minus column. Then for this interest on overdraft, so what you will do here, listen carefully. For the hand movement, we went with the addition, right? So the hand movement, it was like going up. Now it's a case of addition, no? But those who are following this, you guys will be showing this amount in the negative column. So whenever the hand goes up, people who are following this structure, this presentation, what you should do, if the answer is in addition, for presentation part, you must show the answer in the opposite way. So it's addition now, you must show in the negative column. Actually, what is the logic for this? I'll come back to this point once I complete the sum. So for time being, just focus on this one. I'll give you the full logic for this. Those who are following this structure, this add less structure, it should be easy for you. Whatever way you move the hand, the same pattern you have to present the answer. So if it's additional, we also show in the addition only. Suppose if it's a reduction, means you have to show in the less column. So people who are following this structure, the answer is pretty straightforward. Those who are following this, the answer will be coming in the opposite way. This section alone, I'll explain the logic once I complete the sum. Now let's move on. Next one. What is the next point? We have been given with bank charges of 400 debited in the passbook only. Now what is the scenario here? Bank charges is what? Is a receipt or a payment? Bank charges is nothing but a payment. So bank charges are payment means, first is a case of payment, and second point is in which book the impact is there. Impact is there in the passbook. So my left hand is cash book for this question. Once you fix a hand, you cannot change it. Remember that point. So my left hand is, for this entire question, my left hand is going to be cash book, right hand is passbook, and my opening balance is always going to be negative for this question. So right hand will also be negative for me. So bank charges, bank charges is a case of payment. So payment is a negative event. My opening balance is negative. So on a negative balance, if you apply a negative effect, what happens? The negative balance will go up, right? So you have to increase your hand now. Which hand? Passbook. Passbook is my right hand. So my right hand goes up. And what about my cash book? Cash book, there is no impact. So what happens? Cash book stays the same. For transaction, you have moved your hand. For plus minus, what you should do? Always plus minus your left hand only. So to match with right hand, you must increase your left hand. It's a case of addition. So what will happen? Bank charges will come under add column. Amount will be 400. And those who are following this approach, what you should do? Bank charges. If it's addition now, in hand movements coming as addition now, what you guys will do? You'll be showing it on the minus item. So it's going to be in minus column, enter the amount as 400. So just listen here. I'll give the full logic for this, why it's done in the opposite way. I'll explain you in just a minute. Next one. After bank charges, what is the next point? Fourth point is checks issued but not cashed prior to December amounted to 11,68,000. Now, what is the meaning here? Checks issued. What is the meaning? Checks issued. Now, when you read this word checks issued, as I told you, you have to check for 2 points. The first point is it a receipt or a payment? Second point is in which book the amount is captured. Now tell me, checks issued now, is it a receipt or payment? When we're issuing the check, it's a case of payment only. So checks issued means it's a payment. In which book the impact is there, but not cashed. What does that meaning? It means that I have issued a check to my supplier. Supplier has not deposited the check in his account. So what is the impact for me? If he doesn't deposit the check in his account, then what will happen? From my bank account, the amount will not move to this bank account. So in short, the impact is there in the cash book. Why? Because when I issue a check, I will record as if the payment has been done. So in my cash book, the impact will be there. But in my passbook, the impact is not there because it has not been cashed. So before December, the amount has not been cashed. So now what happens? This is a case of payment and it has been captured in the cash book. So what is the scenario here? My left hand is going to be cash book and it's a case of payment. So what happens? Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Now for this scenario, what will happen here? We have issued the check and we have made entry in the cash book. So what happens? Already my opening balance is negative. This is a payment, which is a further negative event. On a negative balance, if you give a negative effect, what happens? The negative balance will go up. So left hand increases and right hand stays the same. In passbook, there is no impact. Why? Because it's not yet cashed. So what happens? Passbook stays the same. Left hand has gone up. Now for transaction, we have moved our hands. Now we have to do the for BRS, you have to plus minus your left hand only. So what you should do to match with right hand, I should reduce my left hand. It's a case of reduction. Now let's go for the answer. In the less column, checks issued but not presented, and you will show the amount as negative. What is the value? The value is 11,68,000, right? So it's negative 11,68,000. And those who are following this approach, what you will do? Just copy the transaction, checks issued but not presented, and in the since it's a case of reduction in the hand movement, you will be showing in the plus column. 11,68,000 will be entered in the positive column. Let's move on. Next one. Checks paid into bank. Look this word. Checks paid into bank. That means what? By seeing this word paid, don't presume it's a case of payment. Checks paid into bank means it's a case of deposit. We are paying into the bank now. I should have got the check. Only then I can give it to the bank. So paid into bank is nothing but deposit. So sometimes students get confused here by seeing the word paid. They presume it to be a payment. It's not a payment here. So checks paid into bank but not cleared before 31st December were 22,17,000. Now what is the scenario here? The scenario is we are depositing the check but not cleared. Not cleared means what? See, when we deposit a check, it's not a magic that we'll get the amount immediately. So once I deposit the check, it will take some time for the bank to clear the check and give us the money. So we have deposited the check, but we have not yet got the money in the bank account. So what is the scenario here? My left hand is cash book right hand is passbook. My left hand is negative, right hand is also negative. Now what happens here? Checks paid into bank means it's a case of deposit. My opening balance is negative. This is a positive event. It's a receivable, right? So we're getting the money. So it's a positive event. So what happens on a negative effect, negative balance, if you apply a positive event, what will happen? The negative balance will come down. As we discussed before, minus 100 plus 20. What is the value? The value is minus 80. The negative balance comes down, no? The same concept. So checks my opening balance is negative. On this negative balance, since the impact is there in the cash book, my left hand will go down here. And what about right hand? There is no impact on my right hand. Passbook stays the same. So for transaction, the movement is over. Now for BRS, we have to plus minus our left hand. To match with right hand, what you should do, you must add your left hand. It's a case of addition here. So checks paid into bank but not cleared. What is the impact? It's a case of addition. So come to this point in the add section, enter this point, checks deposited. You can rephrase the wordings and all. There's no issue in that. Checks deposited but not cleared. What is the value? 22,17,000. And those who are following this presentation, what you will do? You will be showing the amount in the negative column. So it will be shown in the negative minus column. Next one. Interest on investment collected by the bank. So interest on investment, when you read this word, what is the inference? It's a case of receipt. I have made some investment. For the investment, I'm getting interest. So it's a case of receipt here. So this is a case of receipt. Second point is, in which book the impact is there? Credited in the passbook. That means what? Impact is there in the passbook. So very simple. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Now what happens? This my opening balance is negative. Remember that one? My opening balances are negative. On a negative balance, I'm giving a positive effect. So what happens? My negative balance will come down. Which hand? Which hand? Passbook. Right hand. Right hand will come down. And what about my left hand? Cash book will remain the same. There's no movement in cash book. So for transaction, the movement is done. Now you have to plus minus your left hand only for BRS. So what you should do to match with right hand, you have to reduce your left hand. It's a case of reduction. So what you will do in less section, checks, sorry, not checks. The point is what? Interest on investment, right? Yeah, it's interest on investment. Interest on investment collected by the bank. And the amount is how much? 12 lakhs. So it's going to be negative 12 lakhs. And those who are following this presentation, what you will do? You will show in the, it's a reduction, no? So you guys will be showing it in positive column. That's it, yeah. It's over. So all the transactions has been done. Now we have to get the final answer. So how to do this? Those who are following this approach, add up the amount and take it to outer column. Same way for the negative items, add the amount and take it to outer column. Now get the final answer. So if you add the outer column numbers, it comes to how much? Negative 1,44,100. You have to be very careful here. Listen carefully. It's a very, very important point because mistakes might happen here. Now, my balance is negative 1,44,100. Now, what it means? Is it a overdraft or is it a favorable? So how you should find this one? It's very simple. See, my opening balance is what? Overdraft, right? Overdraft, how did you treat this number? We took the number as positive. So overdraft was shown as a positive number. Now you are getting a negative number. Then what it means? It means that this is a favorable balance then. Because if you treated the overdraft as positive, if the resulting and the final answer is going to be negative, means this is nothing but a favorable balance. So what happens here? In this scenario, we will take this number. 1,44,100 is what? Balance as per passbook. It's going to be a favorable balance. So be careful on this because there's a high chance that you might make a mistake here. You'll presume it to be a negative because the answer is negative. We presume it to be a overdraft, but that's not the case because I have taken my opening balance, which is a overdraft, as a positive figure. So if resulting answer is negative, means it should have the opposite effect. That means a favorable balance. So as per passbook, the amount is favorable, whereas as per cash book, the amount is unfavorable. And those who are following this approach, what you will do? Now you guys have to tally this one. What is the meaning of tallying then? Tallying means you have to check which side the amount is heavier. Plus item, if you add now, if you add up these two, it comes to how much? 23,68,000. So plus item comes to 23,68,000. Negative comes to how much? 22,23,900. So the amount is heavier on the plus part. Now what you should do? Add up this amount, copy it to the other side, negative side, and find the balancing figure. Just like the way you tally the ledger, same way you have to do this. So it comes to how much? 1,44,100. Now, what is the meaning of this number? Once again, it's going to be same point. It's going to be a favorable balance. So balance as per passbook. This is a favorable balance. Why? Because which side the amount was heavier? Positive side. This positive side, the amount was heavier. No, that means it's a favorable balances are higher compared to unfavorable balances. So resulting answer is going to be favorable for you. So either way, whichever approach you follow, the final answer will never change. The final answer will remain same only. Only the way you present it will be different. Now, having said this, what you have to do now, before going to the next question, I'll just explain this logic here. Why this, those who are following this approach, why we are giving it in an opposite way? The reason is very simple. See, what it is, in this approach, even though it was overdraft, I took the number as a positive figure, right? And we gave the adjustments in the hand movement. I assume I took the opening balance as negative, and based on this opening balance as negative, we gave the hand movement no. But here, those who are following this approach, what happens? You take the amount as a negative figure, not as a positive figure. Those who are following here, we took the amount as a positive figure, and those who are following this approach, you take the amount as a negative figure. So we are changing the signs actually. Since the opening balance signs are changed, automatically what happens? All the transactions. So here, look at this numbers, no? 160, 400, and 22,17. We gave it as a positive item. So these three numbers will be on the negative side. Look at the answer key here: 160, 400, and this number 22,17,000. It's coming in the negative column, and 11,68,000 and 12 lakhs, we shown it as a negative figure. No, this was appearing in the positive column. The reason is we have changed the sign for the opening balances for this presentation. So automatically for the transactions also, we'll be changing the signs. So instead of showing it as a positive, we're showing negative. Now they're applying a negative sign. So transactions will also be changed for the other points. That's the reason we're doing it in the opposite way. So whichever is convenient to you, you can follow, because either way the answer is not going to change for you. So you can follow whichever method is convenient to you. Either way, the final answer will never change for you. And for these people who are following this approach, if the answer is coming in minus item, now it means the positive item balances are heavier compared to the negative part. So that means we have a favorable balances. That's the logic here. So I hope this should be clear. We will take up one more sum now. Let's take up another question. Let's start. Let's look at this question now. From the following information, prepare a bank reconciliation statement as at 31st December for Mrs. New Steel Limited. Now, what is given to us? They're asking us to prepare a BRS on this date, right? For this person, for this company. Now, what is given to us? We have been given with the bank overdraft. That means a negative balance as per what? Cash book. Since cash book balance is given to us, what will happen? Whichever balance is given to us, that book will be taken as the left hand. That's a base for us. So base is always left hand, cash book is left hand, passbook is going to be our right hand. Cash book has got a negative balance, so passbook will also have a negative balance. Now let's get started. Interest debited by the bank. So as I told you, once we did a transaction, we have to look for just 2 points. The first point is whether it's a receipt or a payment. That's the first point. And second point is in which book the impact is there. So it's very easy. Interest debited by the bank means debited by bank now, it's a case of payment. And bank is in control of which book? Passbook. So very simple. This is a case of payment. and the impact is there in the passbook. Now let's go for the hand movement now. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. This transaction debited means interest debited by bank means it's a case of payment, and impact is there in the passbook. And what they are saying here, no advice was received. What is the meaning of this word? It means that I have not got any intimation about this charging of interest by the bank. Without getting the intimation, now what is the impact for this? It means that there is no entry in the cash book, because only when I get the intimation, I can pass entry in my cash book. So for this point, the amount has been captured in the passbook, right hand, and not in the cash book. Now what is the hand movement? For transactions, you can move both the hands. So which hand has to be moved now? Opening balance is already negative. This is a further negative event. As the case of payment, it's a further negative event. So what happens? My right hand goes up, passbook will go up, and cash book stays the same because there is no advice has been received from the bank. So my passbook goes up, cash book stays the same. For transaction, movement is over. Now you have to plus minus your left hand only. To match with right hand, what you should do? You must increase your left hand. So this is a case of addition. Now let's solve the sum. Just like the previous question, what we'll do, we'll solve in both the ways. I will remove this answer. Yeah. So we have been given with overdraft OD as per cash book. What is the value? The value is 22,45,900. So amount is 22,45,900. The same number we'll enter it here, but in which column? Since the overdraft will be entering in the minus column. Right? Fine. Now let's get started. For this first transaction, what we said, it's a case of addition. No, my right hand went up and left hand stays the same. Yeah, it's a case of addition. So the answer is addition here. So what you will do? Interest on OD, that's the event, and in amount, the value is 2,78,700. So amount is 278,700. And those who are following this approach, what you guys will do? You will show the amount in the minus column. So this number will be entered in the minus column. That's it. Let's move on. Next transaction. Checks issued. That means after reading this word, what is the inference? Checks issued means the case of payment. Before 31st December, but not yet presented to bank. What is the meaning? I have issued my check. To whom? To my supplier only. That's the obvious point. If I'm issuing a check, I'll be issuing a check to my supplier, but not presented to bank means what is the meaning? My supplier, he has not yet deposited the check in his bank account. So what is the issue? If he doesn't deposit check in his bank account, what will happen? The funds will not move from my account to his account. So now what is the takeaway? It means that the impact is there in the cash book alone, because when I issue a check, I'll make entry in the cash book. But when will the amount will be captured in passbook? Only when he deposits a check, the funds will move from my account to his account. So the scenario is, for this point, left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. As I told you, once you fix a hand, you can't change it for the entire question. For this entire question, my left hand is going to be cash book, right hand is going to be passbook, and opening balance is negative for us. Now what happens? This is a case of payment, right? And in which book the amount is captured? Amount is captured in the cash book. Because when checks are issued, you make entry in the cash book. So what happens? Already opening balance is negative. This is a further negative event. Now what happens? On a negative, if you apply a negative effect, what happens? The balance will go up. So left hand goes up, cash book will go up, right hand, passbook stays the same. I hope you guys are doing it parallelly. Please don't watch me alone. You have to do it parallelly. Then only you'll get the logic. So left hand goes up, right hand, passbook stays the same. So what happens? For transaction movement is over. Now you have to plus minus your left hand only. To match with right hand, what you should do? You must reduce your left hand. So it's a case of reduction. So come to the answer key. Checks in the less section. Those who are following this approach, in less section, what you will do? Checks issued but not presented. But not presented, and the value is how much? 6,60,000. So it's going to be negative 6,60,000. And those who are following this approach, you guys, what you should do? Since it's a negative, you must be showing it in the positive column. I hope the logic should be clear. 6,60,000. Because once again, recall this. Why it's coming in the opposite way? Here we are taking the amount as a positive figure, but here we're entering the amount in the negative column. So since signs are changed, automatically the values also get changed here correspondingly. So if it's going to be a negative in the hand movement, you must show in the positive. If it's a case of addition in the hand movement, you must show it in the negative column. Then next point, fourth transaction, transport subsidy received from state government. So what they're saying here, it's a subsidy received. It's very simple. It's a case of receipt here from state government directly by the bank, but not advised to the company. What is the meaning here? The government has given a subsidy and the amount has been captured in the passbook, bank account, which is the passbook, but not advised to the company means what? The company has not got any intimation about the receipt of the subsidy. So what is this? What is the issue? It means that in cash book the entry is not there. So the amount is captured in the passbook, but not in cash book. So what is the movement here? Left hand is cash book, right hand passbook. My opening balances are negative. This is a positive effect. It's a case of receipt, right? So what happens on a negative balance? Which book? Passbook. Passbook opening balance is negative. You are applying a positive effect. So on a negative balance, if you give a positive effect, what happens? The passbook will go down. It's a case of reduction. So passbook decreases. And what about cash book? No impact. So what happens? Right hand will go down, left hand stays the same. For transaction movement is over. Now you have to plus minus your left hand. So what you should do to match with right hand, you have to reduce your left hand. It's a case of reduction. So subsidy received from state government. That's a transaction. Come to the analyzer. It's a list, right? It's a list. In the list section, subsidy received. Subsidy received from state government. And what is the value? 14,25,000. Yeah, the amount is 14,25,000 will be shown in the negative column. And for this way of presentation, you'll be showing it in the positive column. Let's move on. Next one. Draft deposited in the bank. What is the meaning here? Draft deposited in the bank means this is a case of receipt. Draft deposit bank means I am depositing the check in my bank account. It's a case of receipt here. So this is a case of receipt, but not credited. What is the meaning? The check has not been cleared. If I deposit a check, it's not a magic. I won't get the amount immediately. It will take some time for the bank to clear the check. So I have deposited the check, but amount is not yet received in my bank account. So what is the movement here? The impact, first the case of receipt. Second point is in which book the impact is there. Once I deposit something in the bank, the impact will be in cash book immediately. Only when it gets credited, cleared, the amount will be captured in the passbook. So what is the point now? Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Left hand has got negative balance, right hand also negative balance. Now what is the movement here? It's a case of receipt. So opening balance is negative. On a negative balance, you're applying a positive effect. So what happens? The negative balance will go down. Left hand will go down. Right hand stays the same. Now what you should do? For transaction, the movement is over. Now for BRS, plus minus your left hand only. To match with right hand, you have to increase your left hand. It's a case of addition. So come to the answer. Draft deposited. Draft deposited, but not cleared. And what is the value? The value is 13,50,000. That's it. Over. Next one. Bills for collection. Bills for collection credited by the bank, but no advice received by the company. Bills for collection credited by the bank. So this is a clue word. Bills for collection is a clue word. Credited by bank, another clue word. Now what is that we can infer here? Bills for collection is a receipt. That is not clear for you. You can go with this clue word. Credited by the bank. See this point? Credited by bank. That means what bank credit means? It's a favorable transaction. It's a case of receipt. So this is a case of receipt for us, and the impact is in which book? It's very clear, by the bank. So it should be in the passbook. But no advice received by the company. What it means? We have not got any intimation, so it means that there is no entry in the cash book. So very simple. Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. My opening balances are negative. This is a positive effect. On a negative balance, if you apply a positive effect, what happens? The negative balance will come down. Which hand? Right hand. Passbook will come down now. So passbook will come down. And what about cash book? Since no advice is received, there is no movement in the cash book. It stays the same. So for transaction, the movement is over. Now plus minus your left hand. So what you should do to match with right hand, you have to reduce your left hand. It's a case of reduction. Come to this answer. The point is bills for collection. Bills for collection credited by bank. That's a scenario. And the value is how much? 8,36,000. And here, in this case, what do you guys have to do? It's a case of reduction, no? You must be showing it in the positive column. That's it, over. Next one. The last transaction. Amount wrongly debited to company account by the bank. So, debited by the bank. That means what? Bank is in control of passbook. So in passbooks, if something is debited, it means it's a case of payment. So this is a case of payment, and the amount is captured in the passbook because bank is in control of passbook only, for which no details are available. What is the meaning? It means that we don't know why this amount has been debited because it's a wrong debit, right? That's why they're giving you here. It's wrongly debited. So the amount is captured only in the passbook and not in cash book. So what is the movement now? Left hand is cash book, right hand is passbook. Now what happens for this transaction? My passbook, my opening balances are negative. So remember that, and it's a further payment. It's a negative event. On a negative balance, if you give a negative effect, the balance will go up. My passbook, right hand will go up, left hand stays the same. For transaction, the movement is done. Now for BRS, strictly plus minus your left hand only. So what you should do to match with right hand, you have to increase your left hand. So this is a case of addition. So come to the add section. It is amount wrongly debited by bank. That's the scenario. And what is the value? The value is 7,40,000. So it will be shown in the positive section, and here the answer will come in the negative column, minus 7,40,000. It will just change the signs. That's it, over. That's it, yeah. Everything is done. Now go for the totaling. If you add up all this amount in the plus section, it comes to 23,68,700. And in the negative part, the amount comes to 29,21,000. Now what is the final answer? 16,93,600. Now what is the meaning for this point? It means that this is a overdraft because I took my opening balance as positive, which was an overdraft. The resulting answer is also positive for me. Then it means this is also an overdraft only. So in this question, it is the balancing this value is nothing but OD as per passbook. I hope this should be clear. I repeat one more time. I have taken my overdraft as a positive figure. If the resulting answer is also positive means it's also overdraft only. In the previous case, we got the number as negative, but my opening number was positive. So opening number is positive means it's a you take it as OD. Now if the resulting answer is negative means it's a favorable balance. But here my opening balance is positive, which is an overdraft. My resulting answer is also positive. So what it means, the resulting answer is also overdraft only. And those who are following this approach, you have to tally the account. So total, you have to check for the side which has got the heavier balance. Here, the plus item comes to 29,21,000. Negative side, it's not like what it should be positive. Okay. Yeah. don't apply negative sign and out. It should be always positive because we are entering in the amount in the minus column only. And on the negative side, the amount comes to 32,64,600. So amount is heavier on the minus part. So enter this amount, put the total, take it to the plus part, and find the balancing figure. This number minus these numbers. So how come we are getting a difference here? Wait. Some issue is there, I guess. How can it be different? Just a minute. Have I entered all the amount? I think some amount is missing. Plus these three numbers are there now. It's there. And here, okay, I think I forgot to enter this amount. Sorry. 13,50,000 has not been captured here. Sorry, I forgot to give this effect. So what will happen? Just a minute. This point, I have forgot to capture it in the second section. So draft deposited but not cleared is there. No. Since we are showing it in the add section, it will be shown as a negative point in this presentation. It will be 13,50,000 will be shown on the negative part. Now, what is the revised total? 41 lakh, 46 lakh, 14,600. Take it to the plus part and find the balancing figure now. 16 lakh, 93,600. The same answer will get here. Okay. So what is this? Now look at the logic. The negative part has got a higher value. That means negative part is higher and positive part is lower. That means resulting answer is also negative for us, which is nothing but overdraft then. So OD as per what? Passbook. So here the OD as per passbook will be shown in the plus item because the negative part is heavier. It's the balancing figure. So this is also a negative balance only. I hope this should be clear. So this is the way we prepare the BRS. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. You can put in the chat box. I will reply to your queries. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.